everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the bias, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only, John Borba.
Yo, what is going on?
Baby, do you feel that banger right now? Are we digging this intro song right now? What's going on? Welcome to Speaking Out Loud. It's Wednesday, coming out from Roswell, New Mexico this morning. It's super cold. It's about 25 degrees. My heater just kicked on. I had it on. I appreciate you stopping that, Jay. I forgot to have that sucker on auto, so it was a little chilly. But yeah, good morning to you. I appreciate you guys rocking with us on this beautiful Wednesday, December 3rd. We're about 22 days out from Christmas. A lot of folks have their lights up. A lot of folks had their lights up since Thanksgiving. I just put mine up this past weekend, JB. We talked about your Christmas festivities yesterday. We have that tree behind us. Hopefully we'll add some lights and hopefully we'll add some decor to both of our setups. So we could be a little more festive. But last night, Hard Knocks was released. I do want to apologize, as we should have been your solid reminder that Hard Knocks was being released, especially on me. I'm going to take accountability for this because I should have reminded you all that Hard Knocks was going to be dropped because it is based on my division, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the New York Giants. I think whenever HBO originally had this plan set up, I think they had a bigger vision as to how close this division was going to be. I think they probably were a little disappointed until this comeback from the Dallas Cowboys that's kind of been brewing up these past couple of weeks. So it's gonna be interesting, I guess. It started off, JB, the show. I'm not sure. Did you watch? Were you able to watch it yesterday?
No, I was asleep by about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and it dropped at 7, so you got to go home, eat, take a shower, get ready for bed. Try to catch it either today or tomorrow, though. It's not a bad watch.
Watching it.
I've never really been big on Hard Knocks. I'm not sure how you feel on it. I've never really been big on it just because it feels kind of cookie cutter. It feels like all the cliches. It doesn't really feel like you're really getting that deep of a look into some of these teams. But I mean, there was some good footage. It starts off last week, and then going into the Thanksgiving game and then the Friday game. So I think next week's episode will cover kind of the fallout of that Chicago loss the Eagles losing to Chicago on Friday. It covered a little bit of the Cowboys winning with the Chiefs. It was pretty good. It's definitely, you can see the inspiration in the Dallas Cowboys locker room, and you can kind of see Philadelphia trying to figure things out as they're moving forward. I'm curious to see how the reaction and to see how they prepare for this weekend or this Monday night game against the Chargers, because it kind of ended there. As far as like the Giants and the Commanders, I feel like that's going to be a bit of a snoozer whenever it's covering those two teams, just because how bad they are. But as of right now, I mean, it feels like Dan Quinn is trying to keep that.
They find ways to make it interesting. You know, they're probably going to talk about the Jaden Daniels injury, kind of how he's been ridiculed this whole year with injuries. For the Giants, I think they're going to have a moment where, you know, obviously they probably show Scatabo and Jackson Dart being that combo, you know, and then the unfortunate injury. So they can make it they can make it interesting, and I'm sure they're going to show some Cam Scatabo, like, you know, live stream footage too, because that he's wild on the internet. So they'll find some ways to make it interesting for sure. That's what makes it, like, I like Hard Knocks because they go kind of a little bit more behind the scenes, and then of course they got some stories here and there and stuff like that. But I just like watching that behind the scenes stuff. Like I would love to hear My thing is, and especially this could be like so popular with the NBA to help get them back on track with how players are, but like um, if there could be like more in-game footage, more in-game sound bites, like I love the sound bites of everything. I want to hear what they're talking about. I want to hear that. You can hear that in the NBA. Sometimes there's clips like that, but like in the NBA, you can like really hear an entire game. I would love to hear like the trash talk because I know that'd be wild. Like I want to hear all that. I want to hear these players talk and like what's going on in their minds, what's their perspective on things. Like I want to hear them talk, not in front of the media, giving out these
The little
scripted kind of
different
answers. I want to
answers, yeah.
hear behind the scenes, like how me and you would talk, like while we, play football or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I want to hear that. I want to hear what
Yeah.
goes behind it, and that's what makes it. That's the only thing that I like about Hard Knocks. Sometimes you get some good storylines, some things you can really talk about, some issues or something like that. But that's why I watch it. Get a little bit more behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it was a good watch. I think you guys should at least watch the first episode. I'm gonna give it a chance. Obviously, I'm definitely invested as the Cowboys make this run that we think they're gonna be on going forward. The news on Thursday's game right now is the Dallas Cowboys will be wearing the beautiful blue jerseys, the solid blue. So that's pretty neat. And as of right now, the biggest question will be: will Amar St. Brown dress up and play for the Detroit Lions? As of right now, what's being reported from Ian Rappaport from NFL Network is that St. Brown is going to be a game time decision for this Thursday's matchup. How do you feel about uh, like what's your thoughts with and without St. Brown on that team?
Um, Excuse me. Kind of talked about it yesterday. Jameson Williams, if St. Brown can't suit up, Jameson Williams is going to have to be that number one guy. And I don't think he's ever been that number one guy for Detroit right now since he's been in the league. Obviously, he's kind of developed over the past year or two. So they're going to have to use him in a little bit different of a role, but I think he's going to get a lot of targets if St. Brown's not there. Now, my biggest question is who's going to be the number two guy? Um, Obviously, that offense is struggling a little bit without Sam Laporta. That's a big injury. Who's going to be the number two guy to step up and get and share some of those targets with Jameson Williams? And of course, you can't forget about the run game. Got to get David Montgomery going. Got to get Jahmyr Gibbs not only running, but in the passing game as well. Quick screens, some choice routes out of the backfield. Get Jahmyr Gibbs involved because when you got Jahmyr Gibbs rolling, that offense is really hard to stop. But we've also seen uh, everything be kind of shut down, in some of their matchups. So you don't know what you're going to get. But I would expect Jameson Williams to get a lot of those targets. Who's going to be the number two guy? And then you got to have Jahmyr Gibbs kind of be that other guy. Like, why? Like, this is a perfect game for the Lions in the sense, like, like how the Falcons use Bijan. They'll line up Bijan as a wide receiver and just give him some targets. He'll
Let
have
more
five,
be an
six
athlete.
catches a game. Do that with Gibbs. Be a little bit creative. Find ways to get him the ball. And I'm sure they got packages like that. I'm sure they got formation. I'm sure they got plays like that. So take advantage of Jahmyr Gibbs in every way possible. This is a perfect game to do that.
JB, and speaking of Jahmyr Gibbs, this is an interesting stat here. The Cowboys from week 1 through 9, we remember the shite defense that Dallas had for quite some time, right? And Matt Eberflus was under fire, and I came on the show week by week, and I tried to defend why Matt Eberflus should still have a job opposed to being fired. How the rest of the media was calling for his job. It was just a matter of being patient because if you watch the games, you notice that players were in good situations. It was just a matter of these athletes making plays, and it seems like now we're starting to make plays. But week 1 through 8, this defense was ranked 28th in the league. That means there's 28 other teams better than them. For those that can't put the math together, so I'm going to clear it up for you there. But 28th ranked, that's almost the worst defense in the league. And now, since the additions of Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson, we're now ranked the third lowest rushing yards allowed in the last 3 weeks in the NFL. Talk about a complete 180 switch with that defense, and with Jahmyr Gibbs coming, or our defense going into town there in Detroit. It is going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out, because it's really going to put that defense to the test as to whether or not they can stop this run. And I think if they do stop the run with Detroit, it's gonna be fun on how people are looking at this Dallas Cowboys team going forward. Dallas has a margin of their margin of error right now is to a minimal. Losing one game might actually not even get them into the playoffs. But as of right now, if they lose one game, it's not the end of the world. But this is not the game that you want to lose. You want to build momentum on this Detroit team and get them out of the way while we can. And really, it seems like the two routes for the Dallas Cowboys is what you said yesterday is the Philly cheesesteak melt. If that Philly team shows up that we saw on Friday, there's a very good chance that this Dallas Cowboys team can win the division, JV. How are we feeling about that?
And it's still, it's still kind of a long shot, but man, like it's there. Like it's literally there. Like if Dallas can just win out, right? If they can just win out, continue to improve, I can see Philly dropping one or two more games. And then, if they're at 6 losses, they're already going to be fighting for a wild card spot. So Dallas, the more Dallas wins, the more pressure. And the more pressure to get things right, because then the fire is even hotter in Philly. Kevin Patullo, everybody already wants him out. He's going to be out. I think he's going to be out at the end of the season. It's just it's not the Sirianni way. Like Sirianni has to have these coordinators in place. The defense, I think the defense is doing all it can. But when the offense is struggling, then the defense is out on the field more. So that's it piggybacks off one another. So a lot of fire on that offensive side of the ball in Philly. And if they somehow drop to a wild card, one and done in the playoffs, even drop out of the race, don't even make the playoffs, which could be realistic with the way the NFC is lining up, like there's going to be changes. 100% there's going to be changes. Is A.J. Brown out? Kevin Patullo, I think, is the Philly meltdown. See, that we got the Philly meltdown in the comments. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. That's what we're going to be saying the last month of the season. Is this the Philly meltdown? So there's going to be changes. If they don't make it, I think no matter what, there's going to be changes. So now,
and Nick Sirianni's came out and said, "There's
no
changes."
Yeah, you do not. Yeah. You don't say it. You don't say nothing. There's no issues. There's nothing going on. All that stuff stays behind camera.
But let me ask you this, though. So, sure, that stuff stays off camera, but what kind of look does that put on Nick Sirianni if next week he goes out and they end up firing their offensive coordinator or removing play calling from the OC? How does that make him look if he's coming out to the media and saying no, we're fine.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No matter what. If they lose the rest of the games for the rest of the year and go, they're not going to change nothing. It's not Nick Sirianni's place to call plays. He is the head coach. He is overrunning everything. He's got a hand in the offense. He's got a hand in the defense. This is just not how Sirianni operates. And I don't think he would be a great play calling fit. That's not going to fix the issue. Of course, you see it in Detroit with Dan Campbell taking over the plays, but it's been up or down. I don't know if anything's really changing. It's just I wouldn't change what has worked for you in the past. I think we know the formula for success under Sirianni. It's getting these coordinators involved. It's getting the right coordinators that can adapt to the talent, that can be creative, that can help that offense overcome what it's overcome, what it's not overcome in certain instances this year. So you got to find the right coordinators. I don't think they're going to change nothing. They're not going to change nothing till the end of the season. And that's the way that you want to do it. Because if you do it right now to a team that is a playoff contender, Super Bowl contender, that creates so much issues. So you just got to keep grinding it out. And if there is a change, then great. But I think at this point, there's going to be a change in the offseason, no matter what. It's got to be. And there's going to be some personnel changes too, which is going to be interesting too. Is A.J. Brown out? What's going to go on with that situation? So I think it's all about just riding this year out,
Wait, are you? Hold on. You're saying AJ Brown out? Is this? Are you speculating, or it's been reported like
I'm
he's hurt or
speculating.
something?
I'm just
Oh,
speculating.
okay.
Yeah, at
Like you're
this
saying
point,
he's gonna want out.
he might want out. He might want out.
I mean, I think he already wants out. I think the offseason, I think you can already look ahead and assume that AJ Brown's probably set himself up to get himself out of Philadelphia. But yeah, man, it's gonna be. They're just following this Eagles team, and they got a little nuggy, from the football gods here. They Justin Herbert getting hurt this previous week, had surgery on Monday. He's day to day from what the Chargers are putting out there, but it sounds like he's gonna try to give it a shot to play on Monday Night Football. Luckily, they have that extra day of rest for the Chargers, and this is big for the Chargers too. It's not a game that they can really go out there and just drop. They're still in the race. It seems like the Broncos might pull away with the division, so they'll be playing for a wild card spot. And don't be surprised whenever a 10-win team in the AFC doesn't make it as well as in the AFC. Where the NFL is so confusing right now, where we don't necessarily know who's good and who's bad. It just honestly, I saw a lot of clips of people saying like the NFL is bad right now. I don't think it's bad. It's just everybody is just so well balanced right now. Yesterday, I was talking to my brother-in-law, JB. He's a big watcher of basketball right now. He's pretty bought in. He's a Houston Rockets fan, so he's having a lot of fun with that whole team with Kevin Durant and those boys. I know you remember at the beginning of the season we talked about the Houston Rockets having the tallest team in the league, their smallest player being 6'8". But he was telling me how just basketball is just so balanced that you don't really know who's gonna come in and out of the playoffs with, especially in the Western Conference, which it kind of feels like in the NBA, it's always been the Western Conference, right? But now it's just like it's deep. Like it's so deep that there's a good chance that the Warriors don't get in. Like the Warriors really have no room, no margin for error. We got to expect them to make a trade here before the trade deadline. But OKC on having a 20-1 record, on pace to break the record of the greatest winning season and possibly tapping that off with a back-to-back championship. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the NFC and the AFC play out, and who's going to be pissed off whenever their 11 or 10-win team doesn't make it, and there's like some bum 9-7 or 9-8 team that gets in. It's gonna be unfortunate. We're gonna get to that point in the season. But JB, let's not break a little bit of news, but let's cover a little bit of news of what happened yesterday. There was a lot of announcements on from the Mountain West on honor awards. And we went from interviewing the captain, the heartbeat of the New Mexico Lobos, to now we could change the title to interviewing the Mountain West Conference All Honors, Jason Eck. It's kind of cool. JB.
Yeah,
That's your show. Your show snagged an interview. Have you watched?
I haven't had time, but I've scrolled through all of our clips that you've posted, so I've seen those. Yeah,
What's the vibe? What are we thinking
about
about
specifically.
the clips that you've seen?
I like it, dude. I think it was a great interview. I think it was a really good interview. It's good for us. It's good for our future. I think it was solid. Like everything that you guys talked about, everything that I've seen so far was solid. I wish I could have been there. I was on a plane. I would have, I would ask some interesting questions. We would got just some regular conversation going, just about anything. But it was a great interview overall, and that helps us out. So,
It was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of prepping for it. And also before I go into that story, but also his dad won Coach of the Year, Jason Eck, and I don't want to downplay his dad. Obviously what he's brought to UNM, along with his son. I'm assuming his son wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him being there. So I got to pay a lot of respect to Coach Eck. Hopefully that's an interview that we get next. That would be pretty sick if we got to add that to the resume. But yeah, a lot of awards were given out yesterday to a lot of UNM players, and man, boy, it seems like they're on the up and up. Yesterday, in Coach Eck's press conference, he said they asked him about how recruiting is going to be playing out here in the next couple months, and he said we're already going to sign a couple players come Wednesday being today. So these boys are already ahead of schedule. They've already started the recruiting process to bring talent and keep talent, which is what Jackson Eck said on an interview. Is it's a matter of keeping the boys that we have in the locker room and then adding more talent on top of what they got now. So it's going to be cool to see how the next year plays out. But most importantly, these boys got to go out there and win a bowl game so that way they can keep the momentum going. But prepping for the interview, JB, I got to watch him talk quite a bit. I got to know him a little bit. The one thing that I noticed the most was he just loves ball. Just loves ball. It seems like life is ball for him, and it's just Mr. Consistent, man. Since his freshman year, he's had that stigma of being the coach's son and always having to prove himself, and just him being consistent on football in the weight room, just locked in on what the goal was. It's got him to where he is now. And there's one word to describe him would just be consistency. So going forward, I will refer to him as Mr. Consistent. I know there's a quote out there. If you remember, I always revert back to somehow quoting basketball, but you remember whenever they interviewed Shane Gillis, and he had that famous quote, which I should know word for word, but I don't. But he was just like, my whole life is consistent. When I wake up, it's consistent. When I get dressed, it's consistent. When I practice, it's consistent. When I was watching him talk in a bunch of these interviews, and granted, a lot of them were like real formal, so he was kind of giving like a media trained answers, what it felt like. But what I got from a lot of it was just that is just a guy that puts on his hard working hat, the blue collar feel, and just gets to work, straps the boots on and gets to work. And it's got him to the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, which is pretty sick. And now he's going to play out his senior season with the Lobos. So that's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun to follow. And hopefully if they do play in the New Mexico Bowl, we'll be able to get out there with Tim. Tim's legit about getting us field passes. So
that would be legit.
That would be
That'd
sick.
be legit. I just don't know if I'll be here during that time, which sucks, man. I'm missing all the good stuff. I'm just gonna have to cancel. Hey, Mom, I can't make it. I'm going to the Lobo game. I'm gonna be on the field.
I don't know though. I think honestly though, you at the Niners Chicago Bears game, that's some massive content too.
I know. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. Record what I can. Just
maybe get a couple interviews with the fam, just a little feel, because a lot of them they're all Niner fans, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot of friends are going too, like family, friends, and things like that. So there's gonna be a lot of people. I can maybe get some interviews. Yeah, I'll bring my little mic set up. Have the little mic.
Yeah, that'd be
doing
cool.
my little, ask a couple questions.
Just to get a feel on how they feel before the game. So that way we can show it on Overreaction Monday and see if they were right or wrong on how they felt about the 49ers. But, man, the 49ers look good, bro. The 49ers look good, but you want to know another team that looks not just good but great?
Who?
The New England Patriots. 10-game winning streak behind Drake May, who is making a MVP or is having a MVP-like season. What are our thoughts on the Patriots going forward? A lot of people are saying, hey, easy schedule. Calm down. New England isn't that good. Wait till they play a real team. What do you say to those types of haters?
They have played real teams. They have played real teams. They've played the Bucks. They had their way with the Bucks.
On my TV.
They've played. Who's the other team that they just beat? They just beat another formidable team.
Are you talking about the New York Giants?
No. Before that, a couple weeks before that, I know they beat the Bucks. They had their way with the Bucks. Travion Henderson went off against them. There's another. They got a couple solid wins, but you play at the end of the.
Well, I don't like the way the way you've already set that up, JB. Makes it look like you think
the way I said. Let me look
you said, who's that team they beat?
Let me see.
You're basically telling me.
I got a short-term memory.
Telling me, JB.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but you're basically telling us that they really haven't played anybody, and that's why
they beat the Bills.
Bro, that's too funny.
They beat the Bills. I'll give them that. They beat the Bills by 3. That's a division game.
That's big. That's a big game. That's the game that I would go back to. But then people would be like, "But the Bills aren't legit," and it's like, well, then who is legit? You tell me who's legit. If we're gonna say they don't play nobody, then tell me if that Bills win means anything or not.
And
Because
here's
I
the thing:
feel
they
like
got
the
the Bills
Bills are
again this
somebody,
week.
right?
They got the Bills again this week. So if you can sweep the Bills, okay,
We're
then you're
legit.
onto something.
We're
And who's to
already
say that they wouldn't?
we're already onto something though. That's what I'm trying to tell these people.
I
And
think they
because
are.
I don't this is where where I get a little frustrated when I start to see people start poke holes at other teams just to find a way to talk ish instead of just giving them the respect that they've deserved for beating the teams that are putting in front of them. We try to
That's
knock
what
them
it
down.
is.
And the reality is that this New England Patriots team has exceeded expectations. We got to remember what this team was last year. This is a big win for New England Patriot fans and what the future is going to look like. The rest of this is just
See,
reaping the
this is a good
benefits of
point
hard
too.
work here.
This is a
Go
good
ahead.
point too. That first loss of the season against the Raiders, that was before Drake May really got comfortable.
Yes. Mike
You still didn't
Vrabel
know.
instilling the culture.
He's
That
still in
that
that culture.
loss that loss is like Ohio State to Texas right now.
Yes. What's funny? This is what's funny. Like Mike Vrabel goes in there, it's a complete culture change, and it doesn't take long. If you get the right coach, you can change the culture pretty quick. Ben Johnson, same thing. If you get the right coach, you can change the culture really quick. And now the players are coming along here in New England. Players are coming along. Drake May, like we said, MVP candidate. These are the things that you can build on. Like Drake May has progressively gotten better over this year. Now, of course, there's concerns in the playoffs because we don't know what it's going to be like. But that whole AFC pool, that whole AFC playoff pool is literally unknown besides Josh Allen. But Josh Allen still hasn't gotten it done. Does Josh Allen now, since he might not have a Patrick Mahomes to go against, he might not have a Lamar Jackson to go against, does he make a run? Does he make a run and prove all these unproven quarterbacks wrong? And then this is his time. Is it his time? Like, I don't know, but I think the downfall of the Bills is going to be that run defense because in the playoffs, these teams are starting to get their run games together. Denver's got a good run game, solid defense. Patriots are getting a better run game, solid defense. Like these teams that are really trying to make a push to the Super Bowl, they have a defense. They can stop the run and they can run the ball themselves. The Bills do not have a good run defense, and that might be the epitome of why they don't make that run this year.
Yeah.
But other than that, the whole AFC is literally unknown besides Josh Allen right now. The whole AFC playoff picture: Herbert, Knicks, Drake.
Yeah, but even Josh Allen, we've
Still
seen.
unknown to a sense. But we know
Yeah,
what he can do.
honestly.
It's been against Patrick Mahomes is what he always goes down to. And that's if he don't have to play him, who's to say that he's not going to make that run now? You never know.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's very true. That is
This
very,
has
very
got to
true.
be Josh Allen's got to be like, okay, this is my time. We just got to secure a playoff spot. This is our time. If
Yeah, but
the Chiefs get bounced,
you know what's crazy is that if the Chiefs get bounced, if the playoffs were to start today, the Bills would have to go on one of the greatest runs. I mean, we're talking Joe Flacco. You remember when Joe Flacco had that crazy run? This dude, Josh Allen's gonna have to put the Superman cape on because he's gonna have to go on the road from the week 1 in the playoffs to week 2 to the semi or the AFC Championship game, and then to get to the Super Bowl. Like
you never know.
the road to the Super Bowl is going to be all on the road. Can Josh Allen
There might
put
be
the
a wild
cape
card.
on?
There might be a wild card upset. 5, 6, or 7. They might upset 2, 3, or 4. That's what it could be though. Like if we get like Chargers and Broncos first round of the playoffs, that game is going to be very interesting because they know each other so well. And then who's going to put it together all at the time? Who's going to be playing solid? Who's going to and that's pressure on Bo Nix that we don't know about. That's pressure on Justin Herbert that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting matchup right there off the rip.
What? Yeah. What about the Colts? So yesterday on my television, a lot of folks were telling me that Indianapolis Colts aren't going to make the playoffs, sitting at 8-4 with the fractured fibula. That's the only thing that concerns me, because it's going to hold back a mobile quarterback that relied on his legs to begin with. I mean, that team was so electric because Daniel Jones was able to create plays outside the pocket, and if he can't move right, I mean, we got to assume that he's probably going to get a couple throws that have a little bit too much air on him, and it might be holiday season for those safeties that they go up against. And this weekend they got the Jacksonville Jaguars in
Should be a big
Florida.
game too.
In Florida, I mean, JB,
What's
the
crazy?
Colts, bro. The Colts have one of the hardest remaining schedules in the league right now. Do you want me to read it to you real quick before you finish that thought?
Yeah.
They got the Jaguars, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Jaguars again, and then the Houston Texans.
Wow.
So whenever they were saying the Colts aren't going to make the playoffs, my little ears went up. I said, "Oh wait, let me listen to this. How come?" And they dropped the remaining schedule, and I was just like, "Yo, just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how we were going to jump on this Colts bandwagon. I mean, we were legitimately Colts fans for a second there. I mean, I still feel like I'm riding with them. They were fun. They're still fun.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is you got to at least split Jacksonville, and you got to win. You got to beat Houston in that last game. So that'll get you 10 wins.
And it's
just
in
doing
Houston.
that, and then you got to get one more. 11 wins will do it. But here's the thing. If they're probably going to be the third seed, that fourth seed is, we know what the fourth seed is, AFC North, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's ugly. But I think they probably finish, whoever wins the South is probably going to be the third seed. The third seed is going to play the sixth seed, which could either be Jacksonville or Houston in the sixth seed. You don't know what we're going to get. You really don't know what we're going to get. And that could be another divisional matchup where it's like, does home field advantage really matter? This is another division matchup where you're playing a team 3 times in a year. That third game is always up in the air if it's a split. And it's harder to sweep a team, to be 3-0 in a team in a year. Like we've seen that multiple times. So all these matchups are going to be divisional matchups first round of the playoffs. That's what it's looking like. At least, if Broncos play the 7th seed, or
where home field advantage I think plays in a team's favor is going to be for the AFC South. Like I think the last thing you want is to travel up to Baltimore or Pittsburgh on the road in January weather. Like that might be the worst case scenario. If you're Buffalo, damn, the last thing you want
Buffalo,
is
take me to Pittsburgh. Take me to Pittsburgh. If we're Buffalo, I don't care. We just ran all over them.
The concerns
ran all over Pittsburgh. Ravens haven't beat nobody. They haven't beat nobody. Like I love match me up. I want to be all these wild card teams. Let's try to be the 5th seed because we're gonna play one of these AFC North teams. Trash,
dude. Yeah,
trash.
Hey, I'm with you.
Take me to Pittsburgh.
Saying, imagine the level of pressure that you have if you're Josh Allen and you're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, or let's just say Joe Burrow. Let's just say Joe Burrow somehow.
That's different.
I think that's no, because they still stink. What are we talking about? It's the same thing. It's not like some magic wand was put over that Cincinnati Bengals offensive line and was just.
You got Joe Burrow.
It don't matter. We've seen what that team looks like, bro.
Yeah, we've seen them. They're undefeated with Joe Burrow.
No, but what I'm saying is that the AFC South is very capable of at least winning one game at home. And if you're Josh Allen and you're going on the road to have to play one of these teams with the level of pressure that the media is going to put on them, bro. Yeah, everybody's got to prepare. What I'm saying is that the level of pressure that is going to be put on the Bills and Josh Allen, if they have to head over to that AFC South team, and let's say it's Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be comfortable with any of them. I would feel some type of level of nerves because can you imagine the amount of criticism that Josh Allen will get if he gets bounced in the first round by some AFC South team that barely got into the playoffs, probably shouldn't even have been in there to begin with. But can you imagine if the Buffalo Bills get bounced by one of those teams on the road? Can you imagine? And
it could happen.
These are all outdoor teams. And the Buffalo Bills are built to throw the ball. They're built to throw the ball. And what's one way and that they're supposed to be?
No, they're meant to be. We're bringing at you James Cook, and now it's the playoffs. We're gonna unleash Josh Allen on the ground. That's what they're waiting for. That's what they haven't done all year is really let Josh Allen run the ball. I think they're trying to keep him healthy. When it comes to playoff time, we're making a run. I'm bringing Josh Allen at you. I'm bringing James Cook at you. I'm bringing all these guys out of the backfield at you. We're running the ball. That's going to be the Bills' success to victory is running the ball. And
we've seen that
because when you let Josh Allen throw the ball, he's turnover prone. You can't That's you can't let him throw the
big.
ball that much. You got to control the game. You got to run the ball, get him on the ground. Like Josh Allen's another fullback running at you at 20 miles an hour. Like
Yeah,
the
sure
defense is
is.
going to get tired of tackling this dude, and the Bills know that too. The Bills know that they're saving that weaponry, having Josh Allen run on the ground, add a defense all game. They're saving that for the playoffs. They're saving that for the playoffs, and they just got done steamrolling the Pittsburgh Steelers, which are a mess.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they already
Very
came
much
back
so.
against the Ravens. They came back against the Ravens. My only thing is if you're playing Joe Burrow, you got Joe Burrow and that passing game. That offense is going to be probably clicking by the time if the Bengals can make the playoffs. That offense should be clicking, and it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. So
Yeah,
that's the
cool
thing that is interesting to me because I don't think that Ravens offense is the same as it's been in the past years. Lamar doesn't look the same. Pittsburgh is a dumpster fire, just waiting for the season to end. I don't even think they make it. So I
which
think
is
the
crazy.
Bills can.
Highest defensive payroll in the NFL. I mean, it just goes to show that you can spend all the money in the world and it doesn't always buy you happiness, right? That's what they say. That's at
And the
least what
crazy
they
thing is
say.
it might not even be all on the defense too at this point. Like it's the offense, they can't run the ball, they
It's
can't
just a
stay on the field.
combination of both, bro.
They
Like the
just didn't
defense.
do. They're putting all the blame on Rodgers. No, this is an offensive issue. They don't have the best O line. They don't have a wide receiver two. They barely have a wide receiver one. DK Metcalf, he's a physical dude, speedster guy, but
Perfect transition here.
he's not much of a route runner. Can't get too much separation. He's like a 50-50 kind of jump ball dude. Like they really don't like to get rid of Pickens. You dug yourself in the
Well,
hole. Oh yeah, speaking of,
yeah, but you didn't see the news, did you? You didn't
I
see
did.
the additions that the Steelers
Wow.
made. Impactful, very impactful. All pro. They brought an all pro
Did they?
to the team. Tom Pelissero reports two-time Pro Bowler wide receiver Adam Thielen was claimed off waivers by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Per sources, Thielen, 35, wanted one more shot at a Super Bowl in his final season, and now
Going to the
lands with
Patriots.
longtime NFC North rival
I
Aaron
went to the Patriots.
Rodgers. He should have
Go
went
to
to
the
Patriots.
Patriots, dude. He's got 8 catches and I think 4 drops this year. 68 yards. We spent a
Yikes.
third and a fourth round on him.
I wonder how Steeler
To get
fans
him
feel
back.
about like when they see like Steeler fans got to hate the Cowboys even more now, right? Like if they already didn't like them, they definitely don't like them now.
Jerry Jones is a genius.
Say it again.
Jerry Jones is a genius. To get a third round pick for George Pickens and to get rid of Micah, who's a guy that you're going to have to pay $1 bazillion to and not improve the rest of your defense, to get rid of him and get an extra first round pick, to get Keenan Williams, to get Logan Wilson, to get a healthy defense. Now you're going to get more players. You're going to get more studs around that defense. You get an edge rusher, you get a safety or a corner in the draft in the first round.
Say it. Say it again one more time.
How about them boys, dude? How about them
Dude.
boys?
Jerry's a what?
He's a genius.
Jerry's a genius. Jerry is a genius. Man, it looks like it's playing out pretty well for us, bro, so far. But all this don't mean nothing if this team can't get into the playoffs. Ultimately, all this will be a waste. All the conversations that we've had in the previous weeks of this generational run that the Dallas Cowboys are going on will mean absolutely nothing if they can't get into the playoffs. It'll almost be a waste of time and talent that Dallas has on that roster right now if the disappointment comes to fruition and we don't get into the playoffs. I'm already starting to see on my TikTok algorithm a lot of Cowboy fans making videos of oh, please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. And to me, I tell them, JB, have a little faith, baby. Have a little faith. Have some positive energy, not nervous energy. When you put nervous energy out there, JB, what's going to happen? Butt cheeks are going to get tight, and we're going to make mistakes when the time gets tight. So we have to feel the same energy that those boys are putting out in that locker room, and we got to have that dog mentality, that comeback mentality, that underdog mentality, because that's what the Dallas Cowboys are right now, JB. And heading over to Detroit on Prime TV, national television, they got to get this win. And then next week, the following week, we face you guys, which me and Jay were talking before you jumped on. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Vikings. That is going to be tough. I think we're expecting a show without you that next day on Monday, but I hope that you do show up. But it
Actually,
is going to be tough.
I might go to that game.
Oh
I might
man,
go to that game, dude.
dude, that'd be sick. That's gonna.
Might just go, dude. We might just have to make a roll, make an appearance.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
We'll
mean, I hope we
see.
crush you guys. It would be.
We're not gonna. We might put up 14 points.
I don't know if I show up if you guys beat us. That's
I
like that's
if
the
we beat
reality
y'all
of
to,
that.
to
If you
take
guys
y'all out of
beat
the
us,
playoffs, I don't even want to win out. I want a top 5 pick. I want a top 5 pick. Give us
that's
the
the
best
energy.
player.
That's the energy I want right there. Because if you guys beat us, I don't know if we can be friends, brother. Like if you are the reason that we don't get in the
Can you
playoffs, it's
imagine?
gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
That
That's
would
gonna
be
be tough for our
crazy.
friendship, tough for our show.
Imagine
For
McCarthy
sure.
just all of a sudden just turns the corner and McCarthy just comes
Just
out
300,
gunslinging,
Jay
dude.
Jetta, 3
350, 3
touchdowns.
touchdowns. Jefferson's got 180, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah,
We're looking too far ahead here. Cowboys got to get past the Detroit Lions, and reports are Trayvon Diggs is also questionable to play in this game. It sounds like he does want to play. Jerry Jones went on 105.3 The Fan.
funny.
Yesterday.
Now when they got a winning record, he wants to play.
Well, Jerry Jones cleared up some air because he knew that there was going to be people like you that were going to have a bit of criticism, and
Yeah, he's got to make it sound good.
He
knows
said
what he's
he said it was nothing. It was nothing. It was no off-field issues that caused
Right.
him going into IR. Nor was it the
Sure.
concussion stuff. It was a matter of Diggs being ready to play football. Not Diggs necessarily, but his body allowing him to play football. They've opened up his window to come back. He should be able to come back. It sounds like he's going to dress. It's just a matter of how many reps he's going to get. I think Jerry Jones felt from the sounds of it, Jerry Jones felt pretty optimistic about him playing and the future of Trayvon Diggs. I think, I just think that Diggs maybe losing his best friend in a trade, as much as it is business, it did affect him personally, and he may have not handled it correctly. But now we just turn the page and we just start stacking bricks on top of bricks here, JB. We gotta regroup, come back, lock in, and move forward. And that happens, JB. That happens. What are you supposed to do, JB? If you and your girl break up, what? You're just supposed to not be sad the next day? Like, you know what I mean?
that ain't no, dude. This is your job, though. If you're gonna feel a type of way,
you're just not supposed to be sad. You're just
like
not supposed to be
he didn't
sad
want
at
to
work.
play because he's like, we suck because Mike is gone. But now he's like, oh, it looks like the defense is turning the corner. All of a sudden, my body feels a little bit better.
I think that's just
I'm in football
ironic.
shape now.
I think the timing, winning fixes everything. We know that. So it's a lot more. It's a lot better to feel inspired. JB, all right. Let's put this into real life perspective here. Okay, you're at your job, right? Your best friend. Okay, best friend. You and your best friend have been working with each other for what seems like forever, right? I mean, y'all have promos together. You guys have a cool handshake, all this stuff, right? And then your boss just fires them. Like, sure, you're going to show up to work the next day, but you are going to be a little sad. Like, you're going to ask questions like, why? What happened? Like, would you at least care to know what the explanation was as to why your partner was released?
I mean, I guess, but
knowing
I don't know
if your boss knew, like, the dynamic of y'all's work relationship. Like,
but
you would at least
okay. So we're firing one guy.
7-11.
We just fired one guy. We brought in 3 other guys, and now our company is doing even better.
Yeah. But they didn't do that right away. So it was like it
doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, exactly, JB. So, but from you, the vision don't look clear, and then the results that are being shown don't look very clear either. That's like them firing your best friend, right? And then they just put all that workload on you, but the company itself is still sucking. So then you start to question. You're like, damn, is my boss just trying to get rid of all of us? Like, at a point, you start to feel that way, and then the news around him that's circulating is like, Trayvon Diggs needs to be traded out. Then it feels like everybody is against you, right? and then your boss finally hires someone of significance that can make a difference on the team, and you start to see it flourish out. Then you start getting inspired about the company again, and all of a sudden you're bought in because you see a vision of what this company can be. And then if you add your talents to that, all it's going to do is elevate it. You think, right?
You think, but either way, Diggs is gone after this year.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if anything,
He's
the
lost a
price.
step.
I think if anything, the price just got a little bit better. The price got a little bit better. I don't know if he lost a step. I honestly think,
And he's never been a good cover corner. He's just been a good ball hawk who relied on a pass rush. But all corners do.
we don't necessarily need to use him in every package now, do we? We send him out there when it's time to do man-to-man coverage. And Diggs
But
is
he's not a
very
good cover
capable
corner.
of locking up these boys. Bro, we've seen leading Mr. Picker of the ball in the
Yeah.
NFL before. We've seen it. This is a
Yeah.
ball hawk, bro. You throw it his way, and he's likely to take
When
it
was that?
from you.
2021.
It don't matter. We've seen it before, JB.
It ain't
All I'm
coming
saying,
back. It ain't
we're not
coming back.
asking, but here's the difference: is in your eyes, you're putting him up here. You're putting him up here. We don't need
putting him up
this.
there.
We don't need
I ain't
him to
putting
be
him up
here.
there.
We just need him.
I never put him
No.
up there. I thought Diggs was overrated from the get-go. He was never a good cover corner. Never. Just a good ball hawk. He needs to go to safety. Put Diggs at safety. Draft a corner. Then you stay on the team. Then you'll stay on the team. Diggs needs to be a safety. Read
I
the
like where your
field.
mind
Read the
is. I like
quarterback's
where your
eyes.
mind is.
Make plays.
I like what your mind is, and that's what Jerry Jones said
Do
in that
that.
interview as well. Jerry
That
Jones
would be
in
a
the
smart
interview.
decision. And then, because you're moving him to safety and he's unproven at safety, lower his contract a little bit. Give him some guaranteed money, but lower his contract a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out because that's like, hey, Borba, take a pay cut. Like,
Do you want the team to win or not? You want the team to win or not? We're gonna
not at
draft.
the cost of my wallet.
We're
You
gonna
figure it
draft.
out.
I don't know, Caleb Downs. No, you guys are gonna get a late pick. You
You're
guys
the
are gonna
business
draft
person.
somebody.
I don't know. Hope maybe Green Bay falls apart, and all of a sudden
Yeah,
that pick
let
looks
Green
a little
Bay
bit
fall
better.
apart.
And
That'd
all
be
of a
great.
sudden, maybe that pick looks better. That would be insane. It's possible if Chicago is what we think they are, or what we're being told they are, right?
Unproven.
If they are who they are, if they are who you think they are, and they sweep the Packers in this 2-game series that they're about to have, I mean, it can get ugly for the Packers pretty quick. Like it can get ugly for a lot of these teams pretty quick, man. But hey, Darius Slay was also released by the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. He's a free agent. He is on the waivers as of now. I think like initial reaction is they probably Darius Slay ends up back in Philly.
Possibly. I don't know if he ends up back in Philly. I think he'll end up on another contender for some more depth. I don't know who would be a good fit. Possibly. Man, just
I
thinking
think
of names.
maybe like the Chargers could use some
I was gonna
depth in
say
the
something like
secondary.
that.
I mean, like Dallas would be neat just because of his affiliation with Philly in the championship
A lot of
season.
people were telling him, like, a lot of comments said Dallas. Dallas was one of those spots that could use a little bit more depth at corner. So,
Yeah,
especially
but
without Diggs.
I guess the pushback would be like Diggs is coming back, right? I guess that would be the
thing.
pushback. But
That would be the thing.
yeah, I would love Slay. I mean, just from like a coaching perspective too, like it wouldn't be a bad guy to have in the locker room, to help these Carson, these younger guys out there in the locker room. That would be neat. But yeah, I think it's more likely someone like a Chargers or probably Baltimore probably could use some help to make a playoff push here, or maybe even Cincinnati, one of those AFC South teams. They could probably use some help, especially here on the back end. But maybe the Colts, because one thing we haven't talked about is the Colts and why is his name Sauce Gardner? Sorry, Sauce Gardner. He has a calf injury that they were afraid that it was going to possibly be
I think
a
it's just a
Achilles
strain.
injury. Yeah,
I think
just
it's a
capturing. But
strain.
we've seen this. We've seen this, JB. We've seen this, but excuse me there. Mainly in basketball, right? Whenever someone has the calf injury, then it slowly leads to the Achilles tear.
Yeah,
So I'm
you
assuming
got to
that
be
they're going to
very
be,
careful
yeah,
on the
very, very
recovery.
careful. Because if he comes out in a week or two and that Achilles bust, boy, oh boy, does that trade look like shite.
Yeah,
Does all of a sudden, when you thought your team was all in, boy, is it going to look tough in the future when you're paying all this cash and there's nobody there playing for you.
yeah,
That's gonna be a tough look for the Indianapolis Colts. But I love their aggressiveness. It's just unfortunate that he's playing out that way. But Darius Slay wouldn't be a bad look for the Indianapolis Colts to add to that roster. That's for sure. We say Santiago says big play Slay. Nice. He's getting older though. Has he lost a step? I think so. Definitely. I mean, like Father Time, right? Father Time is getting. He's obviously not what he was in his
yeah,
prime,
for sure.
but he can definitely still contribute. I think whatever was going on in Pittsburgh, I think this is kind of a product of that environment. Why didn't Darius Slay work? I don't necessarily think that's going to be on Darius Slay. I think it's probably what's brewing in Pittsburgh, and unfortunately, that just might go to show like what the rest of the season is probably going to look like. And you kind of feel bad. You feel for Aaron Rodgers here in what is it? I think it was his birthday yesterday. So he's now 42 years old. Like, dang, man, taking those types of hits that he's getting hit with right now, broken left hand, busted nose this previous weekend. It's only going to get uglier and uglier for Aaron Rodgers if this Pittsburgh team can't figure it out. I mean, people in Pittsburgh right now calling for Mike Tomlin's job. I saw a couple clips of the stadium actually chanting, "Fire Mike Tomlin." Like, what the hell? And I get it, bro. I understand moving on from the head coach, even though you've had winning seasons, like eventually there's going to be a time where it's like, all right, maybe it's just better for both of us to move on. Both can be good, right? Both can still be good and in good positions, but maybe it's just time to break that off, and then both teams go, or both parties go and have success of their own. And I think that's probably
so.
where the Steelers are. They just need a new voice in that locker room, and that's not a shot at Mike Tomlin. I'm sure I'm sure Mike Tomlin's going to get a job probably tomorrow if he wanted to. And I'm sure he's going to do well wherever he goes. But as of right now, it feels like it's kind of dried out. That voice is dried out in Pittsburgh. And I know the Rooney family, that's not something that they're accustomed to. They try to stay loyal to blah, blah, blah. But right now, you got to be loyal to the Shield. Be loyal to your logo. Be loyal to your city. And bring them a different voice. The only thing is like, it doesn't matter who you pick, right? If it doesn't come with success, we're going to be sitting here in a year or two having the same conversation. And if anything, we're going to be putting more pressure on the Pittsburgh organization as to, hey, you idiots, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? We've seen it happen so many times where, you swing that bat, whoo, and every now and then you strike out. But it is what it is, man. It's tough. It's tough. If I'm a Steelers fan, I know in the previous weeks we said, hey, let's be patient. Let's be patient before we jump on the backs of this Pittsburgh team because of the amount of money they spent on the defense, bringing Aaron Rodgers, paying DK Metcalf, paying Warren, thinking that Artie Smith was going to make a difference on that Steelers team or on that Steelers offense. And it just seems like it's kind of the same thing that Matt Canada had, a little bit of almost nothing. Really, no creativity, and they're probably like we said, they're probably the biggest haters of the Dallas Cowboys losing George Pickens. Because could you imagine George Pickens and DK Metcalf right now with Aaron Rodgers? That would be what a hell of a look. I mean, look at what Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are doing out there in LA with Matthew Stafford, right? Like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you got to think like, damn, how come I couldn't have that?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, poor Aaron Rodgers, just a lot
They're not
of things.
doing nothing to help Rodgers. They didn't
that's the
really do
unfortunate
anything to help him.
Aaron Rodgers' career is kind of like, when you look at it, it's just like, man, it's unfortunate, bro. Like, he could have been a Niner, right? They chose Alex Smith. He goes to Green Bay. Granted, he wins the Super Bowl, all that stuff. And then now it's like Matthew Stafford in the back end of their career is flourishing more than what Aaron Rodgers is doing right now. And they were in similar draft classes, or were they in the same draft class?
No.
They were a year
came
apart,
out like in 07, 09, 07.
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's just, man, if you're an old head, you're probably like, damn, it would be nice to be in Matthew Stafford's situation right now. But Matthew Stafford paid the price at the beginning. Matthew Stafford did pay the price for the first 10 years of his career, and now he's finally reaping the benefits of his hard work. So shout out to the Rams. But coming off a big L last week, let's see how the Rams bounce back this week. JB, a couple other things that are happening in the sports world. You might not follow this, but Ronda Rousey, there's news circling that she might come back to box in the boxing ring, not in a UFC octagon, in the boxing ring against the Irish woman, Miss Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor. I don't know if you know who Katie Taylor is. She's the girl that boxed Amanda Serrano, sold out Madison Square Garden, and were the first women to headline a sellout on Netflix. So that's pretty cool. Katie Taylor, that's brewing. To me, the bigger news there is the fact that Ronda Rousey is thinking about coming back. To me, coming back in boxing, that's scary. We saw what whenever she fought boxers in the UFC, what happened with Amanda Nunes, Holly Holmes. Granted, they were able to kick, and in boxing, you're only able to utilize your hands, but never in my mind did I think Ronda Rousey was a boxer. So it feels like that's going to that's probably not going to play out well in her favor. Obviously, here in about 2 weeks, December 18th, you'll have the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua boxing match on Netflix, which a lot of folks are scared. A lot of folks are saying there's probably going to be a murder on national television, which is yeah, it's pretty crazy. And a lot of folks, they say, hey, don't say that. Do you want to say that on national television or on one of the big podcasts or the big shows? But whenever they do stop them to tell them, like yesterday, Sean O'Malley went on Aaron Hawani's show, the MMA Hour, and he's legitimately was like, hey, Jake, I love Jake. I'm scared for Jake. This is the one time that I'm going to turn on my TV and legitimately be scared for someone's life. And the tone in his voice, like normally Sean O'Malley's upbeat, normally joking, always throwing jokes. And in this case, said it with a very serious manner that he is afraid for his friend in this matchup. But hey, if Jake Paul lands one, the inedible, who knows, right? Who knows? But
I don't think
I actually am scared for Jake himself. The fact that he's doing this is crazy. But hey, this is what he wanted. He said he was going to do this. He said he was going to fight a world champion, and that he would become a world champion. And what a better way to get there? What a quicker way to get there than to face the gosh, man, the scary. Have you seen what Anthony Joshua looks like?
Yeah.
And Jake Paul is comparing this to the Rocky and the Russian. The Russian dude. And honestly, when they faced off, that's kind of what it looks like. It looked a little bit worse because Jake Paul looks more like an average Joe than what Rocky looked like. Rocky was shredded, you know what I mean. He was cut to the gills, right? Jake Paul a little more flabby. Just a little more flabby. His definition on his arms don't look that great. It looks like his brother Logan got more of the definition on the muscles there. But bro, it looks scary, bro. I do. Kudos to Jake for taking that fight. He would beat up the majority of the population in the world.
Just not the other majority, not the other percentage.
Yeah,
that
just not
small
the 1%.
percentage. Yeah, that less than 1% for sure. Yeah,
the Anthony Joshuas of the world. It's going to be tough, man. But guess what? We're going to be tuned in. I know I'm going to be tuned in. I'm actually looking forward to that fight now. My boy Anderson Silva's fighting on that old ass head. He needs to retire too. But I will also be locked in to watch him box it. It's always cool to see Anderson Silva fight. But yesterday we were talking about people staying in the ringer a little too long. Anderson Silva, please, after this, let's retire. But I appreciate him taking boxing matches over MMA matches. JB, last thing, there's some UFC this weekend. I don't know if you're aware. How much do we follow UFC? Are you a fan? You only watch whenever I tell you something? What's your feel for the UFC?
Yeah,
or MMA in general?
I don't follow it in depth, but I do. I do tune in and watch. I do tune in and watch. I don't follow it in depth, all the backstories. Not like football or basketball, but yeah.
Well, I only bring this up because I get lost in the sauce, brother. I get lost in the sauce. Fight week, I always get lost in the sauce. UFC 323 this weekend is headlined by Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan, a Russian versus a Georgian. This fight will be interesting. It's basically a grappler versus striker match, but Merab, the champion, Dvalishvili, has been letting his hands go just a little bit more. So it's not a lot of humping. A lot of these Russian fighters, you think of them and you think of a lot of dry humping, which is a lot of what happens in those fights, right? And I respect it. I respect it to a sense of the fact that, to me, I think it's harder to go in with a game plan to try to just smother someone and be the most boring fighter of all time, opposed to trying to entertain someone. So whenever, to me, like, if you're the GOAT, like, it's hard for me to think Khabib is the GOAT, because, like, I think the entertaining factor is also a part of the total package of you just winning. Like, JB, would you rather have a 10 fight career where you won, but they were all just boring matches, but you won? Or would you rather have a career that's 5 and maybe 1 loss, but you had 5 knockouts and then you lost in a decision? Like,
Yeah.
you would go with the more, I mean, at least I would. I think I would go with the more exciting career, because you got to assume that the more exciting career made more money. At least that's what you think. Because this is,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is prize fighting, right? But we go down this card. That's your main event there, JB. The co-main event is a flyweight title bout between Alexander Pantoja versus Joshua Van. The champion, Alexander Pantoja, has been on a hell of a winning streak. His story is actually kind of cool. His dad kind of left his life. Whenever he won the belt, he had in his post-fight interview, he was like, "Dad, are you proud of me now? Are you proud of me now, Dad?" Come to find out, his dad, like, his dad's kind of a piece of shit, is from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think that that would be his initial reaction after winning the championship, is to ask a guy that's never been a part of his life.
He's got some trauma, some
Yeah, he's got some
long-term
demons,
baggage.
bro. Got
Needs
some
therapy.
demons. In the same card, Brandon Moreno will be fighting Tatasura Tara. He's a number 5 ranked flyweight. I don't know anything about that guy, but Brandon Moreno is always a fun watch. Mexican fighter, was a former world champion. And then Henry Cejudo is making his last walk to the UFC octagon. He's going to retire after this fight. He's an American fighter going against Payne Talbot. He is boyfriend of, or allegedly boyfriend of, Frank Ocean. So I don't know if you know that. That's a cool little nugget, huh?
I guess so.
Frank Ocean's, man, scrapping it
Likes
out.
to get in the ring with these guys. Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's all.
Let's see.
That's all the news that we got for today. Also, Terrence Crawford got stripped of the WBC title because he didn't pay his boxing title fees. A lot of criticism about Dana White and how he's going to be handling his own boxing league. But then you come to find out the WBC charges athletes to hold their belts. How the hell does that make sense? I'm going to charge you to use my product. I mean, to wear my product, to promote my product. Come on now. Get out of here. Miss me with that. Terrence Crawford,
Yeah.
the GOAT of boxing, the face of boxing right now, alongside Jake Paul, some would say. But I appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll be back tomorrow to break down the Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions. And JB, we will make our Week 14 picks, and then we'll touch on a little bit of fantasy. So let us know what your fantasy questions are. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget, you can call in at 575-808-9307. Boys, I'm paying for this phone bill. Help us out. Call us. Let us know what's going on in your world, in the sports world or your personal life. Allow us to be your place to let that fix out. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back in the morning. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. Let's have a day. See ya.
Everybody trying to be
Paid for
content
this
creators
line.
and trying to